How are you, my fans, sneak peepers, and curious friends? I am difficult and demanding. If you want to know my real name, then hold still, and I might bring your wish to fruition. Before we begin, you can find this podcast show in iTunes, Spotify, iHeartRadio, SoundCloud, Blueberry, Google Play Music, TuneIn, YouTube, and Stitcher. This is the I'm Difficult and Demanding podcast, keeping it real, uncensored, and shooting straight between the eyes. The third eye, that is. I am going to hit you with explicit truth. This solo show is outrageously honest and keenly witty with a view into life. Yes, I said life. That's what we do every day when we wake up from sleeping. We are living life. Well, some of us at least. Moreover, I hope to provide you with gut-wrenching laughter and a touch of wisdom. Let's get something straight. Really, really straight. I am truly, actually, habitually, and shamelessly difficult and demanding. And I completely own it. Now, I don't ask for much because I expect and receive it all. I firmly believe that if you expect shit, you will receive shit. What does that mean? Well, it means expect nothing but the best and don't settle for less. As always, I, your host, Tara, am keeping it real and uncensored. You know, I'm not everyone's cup of tea. I am for those people who are tired of sacrifice, deprivation, excuses, and compromise. Come into my world and unplug from your life and dive all into episode 56 of the I'm Difficult and Demanding podcast. Are you happy? Are you happy now? Where did your happiness go? How did you lose it? Who convinced you your happiness is fleeting? Well, it's not. You have got to know where to look for it. Are you a hater? Come on, you can tell me. Tell me the truth. You want the perks, but you can't or won't put in the work. Spend less time focusing on others and more time on your life, and you will find you have less problems. And oh, by the way, to have it, you've got to do it to get it. And that would be for your goals, dreams, hopes, and desires. Before I begin, I am going to do a call out. What's a call out? Well, it's not a shout out. I am calling out you motherfucking lurkers. If you have entered my world, then be honest with yourself about it. You want to be here, and you know I want you here, so follow me on Instagram and Twitter. Finally, climb aboard and enjoy the entire show because I am giving you plenty of ridiculous honesty. Once the podcast episode ends, I am keeping it going on my Instagram page at Difficult and Demanding and on my Twitter page at Mrs. D and D. Can I ask you a question? You know, how about this? May I ask you a question, a personal question? How do you like it? Huh? How do you want it? Tell me. Tell me. See, you're not speaking. Why is that? Tell me. How do you want it? How do you like it? How do you need it? How can I give it to you? Good. Really, really good. Why do I want to know? Because I want to make you happy. So happy. What do you think about that? I live to see that smile on your face. I breathe to see that twinkle in your eyes. Tell me, what can I do for you? Tell me. Tell me any and everything. How can I please you? Well, let's back up. Are you happy? Are you happy now? Yeah, are you happy now? Have you been happy? Where did it go? How did you lose it? Who stole your happiness? Well, honey, I'm going to get it back for you. I'm going to give you boundless happiness. Does that make you feel good? Because I want you to feel good. I need you to feel good. I won't stop until you are good. Really, really good. You know that, don't you? Of course you do. No one has ever told you that. Your happiness is mine. So where did it go? Where did your happiness go? Who convinced you happiness is fleeting? Nah, it's not true. You've just got to know where to look. And in your case, it's in one direction only. Do you know which direction? I'll give you a clue. Close your eyes and follow my voice. Yes, follow my voice. I am your final destination. I'm your happiness. I'm your happiness destination. It's really important to know where to find your happiness and to know what it looks like, what it sounds like, what it smells like, what it tastes like, and what it feels like. Do you want it? Are you going to grab it? Come on, grab me. Hold me. Never let me go. Never let your happiness, your bliss go. Steal your happiness and take her away. Take him away because it's for you. So yes, be selfish. Be very, very selfish. Being selfish is bad sometimes, but not all the time. But sometimes. But not this time when it comes to your happiness. I know we've been taught that selfishness isn't a virtue. But sweetheart, when it comes to your happiness, it is. Your happiness is worth the cost to achieve it. You are worth it all. Now tell me when was the last time you felt like this? My words haunt you, not in a bad way, but in a good way. You can't shake it. Do you know why? I'll tell you why. I'm speaking the truth to you. Now come over to me. Let me touch you. Because I'm going to send you over the top with bliss. Yeah, you can't wait. I can feel your eagerness. Happiness is a drug. It's a real drug. And when you've tasted it, experienced it in its purest form, then that's when it's over for you. And it's okay. Release yourself to it. Surrender to it. Real happiness makes you see how insignificant most things are, because there's no comparison to it. Will you allow me to show you a new life, your new life? It all ends now. Deprivation gone. Sacrifice gone. Compromise gone. Settling gone. Justification gone. Excuses gone. Disappointment gone. It's been too long, and it ends now. What do you guys think about that? Huh? What do you think about that? Have I given you some new perspective on things? Have I stirred you? Have I rubbed you the wrong way? Have I awakened you? I know I have. I have a tendency to make you think about things in a way that you never, ever, ever could imagine. And I make you feel that shit. I bring it to life. I said it before. I bring motherfuckers to life. I bring you to life mentally. I bring you to life emotionally. I bring you to life spiritually. And I can also bring you to life physically. But what I'm bringing to you today, tonight, wherever you are, I'm talking about happiness. That's what I'm talking to you about. What's happiness? It's hard to describe, isn't it? It's a feeling, a great sensation. It's a peace. It's an assurance. It's very hard to describe. But it makes you feel light. It makes you feel very free. It just makes you feel all that there is as far as life has to offer. There's no words to really describe happiness. And the happiness I'm talking about, I'm not talking about that superficial, surface level shit. I'm talking about something that just goes so deep within you. It hums. It resonates. It vibrates. It pulses. You can taste it. It's with you. It envelops you. It cocoons you. It captivates you. It's those things, those feelings that you get in those rare moments in life. And the thing I hate about that is that rare, that word rare. Now, I know I'm confusing some of you because you think that I'm talking about happiness means life is perfect. Life is never going to be perfect. But if you're surrounded with the right people, the right team, the right circumstances, the right environment, you can weather anything. You can withstand anything when you're supported, when you're loved, you're optimistic, you're positive. Happiness is a sword that's worth wielding. It just makes life, it makes you glide through life with a smile on your face. And even if it's not on your face, the way you walk, the way you sit, the way you hold yourself, you carry yourself, how you speak, how you look, your demeanor, it shines through. And the more you have, the more that comes to you. Happiness is a wonderful thing, but we treat it like it's a disease. We treat it like it's optional. We treat it like you have to be hazed into receiving that shit. Happiness is a choice. Happiness requires you to do some things to make sure you get it, you have it, and you keep it. And we're going to go more into details about that. But I want you to keep that in mind. You think happiness is something that only the fortunate people, what they get. Or you get these small moments, glimpses of it. No. That's some excuses and some bullshit that we tell ourselves to get through life. To keep from having us do the things that we need to have the happiness that we want, we need, and we deserve. So I have to ask you, do you really want happiness? Yeah. And you probably say, sure, Tara, of course I want happiness. Everyone wants to be happy. No. Everybody says they want to be fucking happy. They say that shit, but they don't do the shit. So I'm asking you, which is why I said, really, do you really want happiness? Do you want it? Because anytime I want some shit, I go get that shit. I go get it. I figure out what it is. I locate it. I reach for it and I grab that shit. Do you do that? Which is why I'm asking you, do you really want happiness? We talk about us being happy, wanting happiness, getting happiness, saying all these aspirations or affirmations about happiness. But when that shit is sitting you, staring you right in front of your face, so close that you can feel its breath on you. Y'all motherfuckers fold. You fold. You fall. You run. You turn. Yeah, you turn. We have a real problem with being happy, and I don't care if you people want to acknowledge or accept what the fuck I'm saying, but trust me, if I'm saying it, it's true. I'm saying it because it's real. And if you take a moment to think about what I'm saying, you will understand that it's true. Think about all the times in your life where you have had an opportunity to enjoy something that brings you bliss, enjoyment, happiness. Did you go get it? Did you reach out and touch it? Did you caress it? Or did you just stare at the shit like it was something foreign, like you weren't sure if you should have it, you could have it, you would have it? What did you do? A lot of y'all talk about happiness, dream about happiness, hope for happiness, pray for happiness, but you really don't want happiness. Yeah, I'm going to call a spade a goddamn spade. You really don't want it. But when you're hungry, you go get food, don't you? But you don't go get your happiness. And we're going to try to figure out why is that. So the next question I have for you, can you handle happiness? Yeah, you're thinking, yes, I can handle happiness. Yes, just give it to me, bring it to me, I'll take it, and I can handle it. No. You know, happiness, it's an overwhelming feeling. It's very overwhelming. It's as overwhelming as you losing your temper and going to fuck off on someone. It's as overwhelming as sadness, despondency. It's overwhelming. Feeling good can also be overwhelming. Being happy can be overwhelming. And a lot of us, we have great conditioning on being disappointed, on settling, on being unhappy. Yeah, we are conditioned really well to handle the negative, the bad, the heavy shit. But when it comes to being happy, oh, no. There's only so much for so long that most people can handle. People can't handle feeling good. You're thinking, how is that true? I don't know how it's true, but I can tell you most people cannot sustain happiness in their life. They cannot. Something starts to creep up on them in their brains and their minds. Some little demons start talking in their head about them being happy. They shouldn't hold on to it. They're not going to be able to keep it. Once you get comfortable with being happy, that's when the shit's going to be taken from you. So it's better off to fuck it up and let it go right now than to have heartache. Yeah, you know that shit sounds familiar. Come on now. Be honest. Be honest. Be honest. All of us low self-worth, low self-esteem motherfuckers here, you know exactly what I'm talking about. And if I offended your good senses, forgive me. But like I said on my podcast, I deal with the dark shit. I deal with the deep shit. And I like to call a spade a goddamn spade, because you can't come to the side of light until you crawl through the fucking darkness. And that's where we are. That's where we are. And I'd like to be on the dark side. I think it's fun. I think it's a lot of fun. So can you handle happiness? I'm going to answer for you. No, you cannot. No, you cannot. Because you have been ingrained with some propaganda, some bullshit that has led you to believe that unless you show X, Y, and Z, unless you be A, B, C, D, you don't deserve happiness. Unlimited quantities of happiness. No. And that is something we all struggle with, some more so than others. But I can tell you this. Can you handle happiness? Most of y'all cannot. And I'm sorry. Actually, I'm not sorry to tell you the truth. It's the truth. Now we're going to move on. Where do you find your happiness? For each person is very subjective. It's what interests you. It's what you miss. It's what piques your interest. It's what makes you want to wake up in the morning. Sometimes for some people, it's what you want to go to sleep to at night, go to sleep next to at night. For all of us, it's different. It's different. But where do you find it? Where's the source? Where's the home? That's in your heart. That's what makes your heart sing, your soul sing. It's your heartfelt desires. And when something stops being a heartfelt desire, then that means you have outgrown it, you've moved on, and you need to replace it with something else. But we already know what makes us happy. Some of us are ashamed of the things that make us happy because they're considered quote unquote abnormal. But who the fuck defines normal, huh? These plain vanilla motherfuckers, you gonna let them define what's normal for you? Nah, don't do that. If you do that, life is not fun. Huh? It takes away the adventure, the spontaneity of life. It takes away your vitality. Why you want to be like a plain, boring ass motherfucker? Why do you want to be beige when you can be full of the colors of the rainbow? And beige is not on the motherfucking rainbow, just so you know. Why be bland when you can be spicy? Huh? Why be room temperature when you can be hot or ice cold? Huh? Why play it safe? Safe is not fun. Safe is not adventurous. Safe is not exciting. Safe is not invigorating, titillating. Why you want that plain vanilla shit? Huh? That's flatline shit. That's coma shit. No one wants to live fucking life like that. You don't want to live a life like that. That life is fucking dead. Even fucking dead people have a better life than that. Why you want room temperature? Don't you want to laugh? Don't you want to scream with excitement and joy? Don't you want to moan, groan? Don't you want to feel like your life is something that is exhilarating? What is wrong with you people? Life is supposed to be about sensations. Yes, that's why we have the five senses. That's why we have so much abundance around us of things to enjoy. Why not relish that shit? Of course, in a balanced way. Why not relish it? So where do you find your happiness? Your happiness resides in your heart. And if you follow what piques your interest, what makes you feel good, what brings a smile to your face, what brings peace to your heart and your mind, that's the best place to start. But I can guarantee you this. You will not find your happiness listening to other motherfuckers. You will not find your happiness watching what other people do and try to figure out that if they're doing it, I must do that. No, you won't find your real happiness. That's your fraud happiness. That's your mediocre life happiness. That's what that is. That is not your happiness. So how do you keep your happiness? How to keep your happiness? You have to be really in tune with yourself. You have to listen to your heart. And then when you know for sure what gives you happiness, what brings you happiness, then you know what you need to do? You have to evaluate the costs associated with you having a happiness because everything comes with a price. The greater the happiness, the higher the price, the steeper the price. That's another reason why some of us don't want happiness. Great happiness comes at a great goddamn price. Nothing is free. Nothing is free. Even happiness has a price. Misery has a price. Happiness has a price. But for some reason, we are very comfortable. Maybe not comfortable, but we have blindly accepted the price associated with misery. But when it comes to happiness, we think that happiness should not come with a price tag at all. No, everything has a price tag. Even happiness. And sometimes to get to your happiness goal, you have no idea. The obstacles, the hindrances, the delays, the labels, the judgments, the rumors, the gossip, the heartbreak, the heartache. The list can go on of what you will have to go through to get that happiness. Great change for great happiness. And to keep it, you have to watch it, cultivate it, nurture it, treat it like it's a baby. For those of you who know how to take care of a baby, then you know what the fuck I'm talking about. You got to take care of your happiness. You're not guaranteed to keep the shit or have it at the same level. If you take it for granted, you don't appreciate it. So to keep your happiness, you got to put in the work and you have to pay attention to what the hell is going on. Why do we pursue happiness? What did I say? Why do we like to pursue happiness? Why we like to chase happiness? You know what? Because when you are constantly chasing, you are in the pursuit. It makes you feel like you're doing some shit, but you're not doing a motherfucking thing at all, but wasting a lot of fucking time, energy, and effort. Let me explain to you why. You got happiness right in front of your face. Most people will not grab that shit. They'd rather chase after it like it's on a string with a carrot at the end being dangled in their face, than instead of snatching that motherfucking carrot off the stick and off the string. Yeah, we'd rather chase it, because chasing gives us the comfort of knowing that we are trying to get happiness, but it also gives us the comfort that we'll never be disappointed by happiness. Did you catch what the fuck I said? Yeah, I'll say it again. Why do we like to pursue happiness? You know what? We like to pursue happiness because it's easy. We don't have to choose a side. We don't have to choose the side of being happy, and we don't have to choose the side of being miserable. We stay in the middle. We put our happiness on a stick with a string and dangle it like it's a carrot. And then we basically start running, chasing after it, because that gives us great comfort to know that we're doing what we're supposed to do. We're doing the right thing, which is trying to achieve happiness. But we're also comforting that deep, dark, low self-esteem side of ours that says we're not really worthy of happiness. So you're neither here nor there. You're not happy. You're not miserable. You're no motherfucking place. You basically don't exist. But to take up time, energy, and effort, you're going to make it look like you're doing what you're supposed to do to get what you're supposed to have, but you really don't want it to begin with. It's a sick, twisted cat and mouse game that a lot of us play, and hopefully one day we will stop. Do you have the courage to grab your happiness? Nope. No, you don't. No, you don't. Yep, I'm going to jump right into that. No, the hell you don't. You say you do. You think you do. But if you basically had a gun put to your motherfucking head and someone said, you know what, grab that happiness right now, most of y'all motherfuckers will be shot. One bullet in the head, dead. That's what the fuck I said. One bullet in the head, dead. I know I'm kind of graphic. I'm to the point. But you know what? I'm dramatic. I'm dramatic because I want to catch your attention. I'm dramatic because I want to startle you. I'm dramatic because I want, if you will, for those who are not really paying attention, I got your goddamn attention now. I got your attention now. Now listen very carefully. Do you have the courage to grab your happiness? Some of you think you do. Some of you try to. And very few of you will do so. Yeah, that's what I said. Most think they can, but they cannot, will not. Some will try, but they won't finish it. They won't go past the finish line. And a few of you will go for it. But most who go for it, you're a small group of people. You're a small group of people. Very small group of people. And yes, it does take courage to be happy. To be happy, you have to be able to look at yourself, reflect, evaluate, go over, and be very in tune with who you are. Good things and not so good things. And we'd rather not address the not so good things. So which means we would be happy to walk away from our happiness as long as that means we don't have to look at our dark side, our demons, and deal with that shit. Yeah, we will forego our happiness to keep from dealing with the dirty, nasty, mucky feelings and situations we've gone through in life. We would rather avoid that at all costs. And the cost would be our happiness. Yeah. Yeah. And I'm not going to even elaborate any further on that shit. And I'm going to repeat it one more time because I think it's of the utmost importance. A lot of us believe we have the courage to be happy. We believe we have the courage to grab our happiness. But at that moment in time that we have to grab our happiness, what happens is this. To be happy, you have to clean house. You have to deal with your demons, meet your demons, become friends with your demons, make peace with your demons. And then when you do all that, then you have the ability to be truly happy. But most of us, we can't deal with that dark side of ours. So we would rather pay the price than to deal with that dark side of ours. And that price would be our happiness. We forego our happiness to keep from dealing with the dark, deep, twisted shit that's in us. Got it? Good. I won't talk about that any further today. What price are you willing to pay for your happiness? Well, you got the price to pay to not be happy, and you have the price to pay to be happy. Now, depending on where you choose to be, whether it's to be happy or unhappy, that depends on the price. But the greater the happiness, the higher the price. The greater the misery, the greater the price. So what do we all try to do? We all try to keep shit room temperature. We work very hard to play it safe. We like to live life numb, in a coma, close to flatlining, which means you are trying to mitigate and minimize all emotions, whether it be good or bad. You think by standing still, being in the middle, not choosing a side, that protects you. That'll protect you from a motherfucking thing, because life is still going to happen to you. Life is still going to happen to you. Let me tell you how life is going to happen to you. Bad shit's going to continue to happen, and you're going to be a miserable son of a bitch. And when the good stuff happens, you're going to be so cowardly. You're going to have so much cowardice that you're not even going to grab the small moments of happiness that you're going to get. Your life is going to be essentially fuck all. You don't like it? I understand. Forgive me. Whatever. It's the truth. If you can't stand for something, you're going to fall for any motherfucking thing. And if you can't stand for yourself, you can't be true to you. You're too scared to deal with you. You get what you deserve. You make your bed, you lie in the bitch. It can't get any more simpler than that. In that. At all. So is happiness fleeting? It depends on you. It depends if it's real happiness, if it's true happiness. It depends on where you're finding your happiness. For some people, yeah, it's fleeting. It's fleeting because of them. It's fleeting because of those voices in their head, their demons. It's fleeting because of their choices. Happiness will stay as long as you allow it. Now, I'm not saying to you that life does not happen. Life will always happen to you because that's life. But life happening to you should not steal away all your joy and your happiness. It should not do that. And you must not allow it to do that. You must have a safe, a vault, a treasure house of where you find your happiness to help you weather through the bad things that are going to happen. You have to have a right team of people around you. But at the end of the day, you are your fountain of happiness, and you have to be comfortable and confident with that. You have to be. So is it fleeting? Only if you let it slip through your fingers. But sometimes you got to fight for it. Sometimes you got to fight for it, fight through it. You got to get through any means necessary because there's so many things in your way that's preventing you from having the true happiness. And when I say true happiness, I mean down to your heart, your core, your soul, your core, your soul. I'm not talking about this whimsical shit. I'm talking about real happiness. Happiness comes and goes. Misery comes and goes. But you have to choose how you live your life, how you want your life to be. And if you want to live life by the premise of happiness is fleeting, your life, your thoughts are your reality. If you believe happiness is fleeting, guess what the fuck it's going to be? It's going to be fleeting. If you believe I deserve it, I have it, if it's trying to leave me, I'm going to take that shit, keep it, and I'm going to do what's necessary, then that is what your life is. Your life are your thoughts and your choices. And you need to think about what I just said. Why do we ruin our happiness? Oh, yeah. A number of you ask for some things, you chase after some things, and then you get it. And then you're good for a little bit. Then you go off and fuck that shit up. You go do some stupid shit to fuck up what you wanted, what you needed, what you asked for. You know why you do that? Because deep down, you never thought you really deserved it. Deep down, you thought you never really motherfucking could or would get it. So you sabotage yourself. Yeah, you sabotage yourself. You never thought in a million years that you would get what you want, you needed, you hope, you yearn, you desire for. And then when you get it, you can't do anything with how wonderful you feel. You second guess it. You doubt it. You get confused by it. You're waiting for it to trick you, to lie to you. You're waiting for all these negative things to happen. And basically what I just told you, your thoughts become your reality. So you end up ruining your blessing. You piss it away. Because you're so comfortable at being distrusting, having distrust and disappointment and sadness and hurt and rejection, that you actually cook up your own pot of stew of fucking misery to ruin a motherfucking good thing. And you do it over and over and over again because none of y'all, some of y'all, most of y'all don't want to deal with your dark side. The side that makes you feel uncomfortable. The side that makes you feel uncomfortable, great pain, that's where you got your greatest wisdom. That's where you have your best insight. That is where you have your strength of character. Just because you feel bad, that shit is temporary. You can turn the lemons into fucking lemonade. But yeah, we piss on our happiness. We ruin a motherfucking good thing. Why don't we trust our happiness? Because we don't trust ourselves. We don't trust that we've done enough to earn that shit. If I tell you, you don't have to earn your motherfucking happiness, you just deserve it just because you exist, what would you think about that? A number of us think we have to jump through some loopholes, pass some tests, earn some credits and some points before we deserve the happiness that we should get. No, if I told you you ain't got to do a motherfucking thing, but just live, breathe, and exist, and you are worthy of happiness, then what the fuck would you have to say to me then? Huh? You think I'm crazy, right? I am. Tell me something new. Because I just told you something new. I just told you you don't have to do anything but breathe, but be, just exist. And you are worthy of all the happiness that you can basically handle. What do you think about that? What you gonna do about that? Can you catch that shit? Can you catch it? No, you can't catch it. You can't catch it. Let me tell you can't catch it. Because the whole thought of that makes you feel so uncomfortable. Because you don't value yourself high enough. Because if you value yourself at the level that you are, that level being priceless, if you saw yourself as priceless as I do, you would say, hell yeah, I ain't got to do shit and I can get all this. You know what? Sign me the fuck up. Bring it. Yeah, I told you you're worthy of a happiness buffet and you're sitting here looking over your shoulder like, huh? What? Me? Why? How? How long? What? Yeah. Go work on your self-esteem issues. Go work on it. Because clearly you don't trust your worthiness. You don't trust yourself. Why do we run from happiness? Because we can't handle feeling good. We feel undeserving. We feel unworthy. Yeah, we run from it. We either ruin it or run from it. Fucked up. Completely fucked up line of thinking. You wouldn't run for some motherfucking money, would you? Someone had $1 million to give you. You're going to say, I'm running away from that money. No, you wouldn't run away from any money. So if you won't run away from any money, why are you going to run away from your honeypot, which is happiness? Why would you run from that? How does that seem? How does that sound? That shit doesn't make any sense to me. When I put it this way, it doesn't make any motherfucking sense to you. You got to know what you're doing. You have to know your own motives. You have to know when you're sabotaging yourself. You got to know that shit. So you can stop it from happening and evaluate why are you trying to fuck your own shit up? Why are you signing yourself up to be a voluntary fucking loser? Again, I offended you. I apologize. But why would you do that? If you are running from your happiness, you don't trust that you're worthy of happiness. As far as I'm concerned, you're signing yourself up to be a voluntary loser. You're doing this stuff knowingly. You might want to think about stopping it. Are we deserving of happiness? I already told you that question. Hell yes. Every single one of us is deserving of happiness. Why? Because we just are. Why? Because we're fortunate enough to have a spirit and a body and to be in this human form on this earth. We're all deserving of being happy. Now, some of you may feel that some people don't deserve to be happy. That's your opinion. That's your prerogative. Frankly, what someone deserves is none of your motherfucking business. But you're entitled to have your goddamn opinion. You're entitled to have your opinion. And other people are entitled not to give a fuck about your opinion. But I'm telling you, each and every one of us, we are deserving of happiness. Will we all get it? No. Will we all try to get it? No. Will we try to think about it? Some of us. If you want it, you'll figure out what it looks like. You'll look for it. You'll find it. You'll grab it. Simple process. But most of us won't get it. And I'm okay with that too. Because I know personally, I know what the fuck I want. I know where to find the shit. And I am shameless enough to go get that motherfucking shit. And I know how to keep it. Do you know how? I'm sure you'll figure it out eventually. Why do we let others dictate, determine if we should be happy or not? Yeah, we care a lot about what other people think. I know we like our community. I know we like to have some place to be and belong, but we care a whole bunch about what other people think. So much that we let them dictate our happiness. Yep. Our happiness is tied up into what other people think. And now you and I both know you can't make everybody happy because you can barely make your damn self happy. So why would you tie your well-being, your happiness up into someone else who's probably more miserable than you? Why do you care what someone thinks? Why do you care if someone thinks you're worthy of happiness? Now, why do you care? If you're too busy being happy, you really don't have the time, energy to give a fuck what someone else is thinking. You'll be like, yeah. Most definitely, sure. That's what the fuck you would say, and you would move on with your life. You wouldn't be listening. You wouldn't be half-stepping. You wouldn't even be considering. If you were worthy of being the king and queen that you are, you wouldn't give these fucking pawns and peasants a fucking second of your time. That's what the fuck I said. The kings and queens that we are, we don't entertain fucking peasants. We don't. We don't entertain peasants or fucking pawns. Kings and queens do not entertain peasants and motherfucking pawns unless they choose to do so. So if you're choosing to do so and you're letting these people dictate your happiness, well, now you understand why you're miserable. You behave like royalty. You live like royalty. You think like royalty. You start considering shit that's beneath your level, you become that. Life is about choices. I told you before, happiness is a goddamn choice. What do you choose? Why do we feel shame about being happy and showing it? That's another thing. When we're happy and we get our heartfelt desire and we're living our dream life or our dream, and the people around us, they're miserable as hell. We feel bad about feeling good. We feel our happiness is a reflection of something. We feel that our happiness is somehow depriving another motherfucker of their joy. I'm here to tell you some real shit. Your happiness has nothing to do with anyone else. Because if someone else wanted their happiness, they would go get it like you. You're not responsible for someone else's happiness. You're not responsible for someone else's well-being. You're responsible for you. What you can do is be the best person you can be the happiest person you can be, and lead by example as far as showing others how they can be happy. Because once you teach other people how to be happy and how to keep it, then naturally it's a domino effect. More and more people go after the happiness, they get it, and they know how to keep it. Why should you forego your happiness, your bliss? Because the people around you are fucking miserable. No. I'm telling you to do it another way. Teach these people how to be happy. Teach these people how to go get their happiness. Teach these people how to keep their happiness. Teach them that way. Shine. If you've been blessed enough to get your heartfelt desire and live your dream life, shine. Shine bright. Don't hide. Don't lessen your shine. Don't feel ashamed. If people are going to hate, let them hate. If people want to celebrate, let them celebrate. But don't let that stop you from what you're doing and what you need to do. Do you understand? So, I hope you have learned something. I hope you have understood. Go get your happiness. And when you get it, you see it, you grab it, and you keep it. Because each and every one of us are worthy of that. And you must understand that. So I'm moving over to something in the news. Please stick with me. Okay, so the article that I'm talking about today is actually called The Age of Envy. How to be happy when everyone else's life looks perfect. The Age of Envy. You know, you and I both know as long as human beings, we have existed. You always got some haters, some jealous motherfuckers around. So the fact that this article is actually talking the age of envy, like this shit is something new. Again, I call bullshit, but we're going to move on. This article says that social media has created a world in which everyone seems ecstatic, apart from us. Is there any way for people to curb their resentment? You curb your resentment when you want to curb your resentment. You believe what you want to believe. You see what you want to see. You do what you want to do. You think what you want to think. What does social media got to do with something?
Before there was social media, people used to look at you from face to face on TV and they still had envy. So social media, maybe it has altered envy and jealousy. Maybe it's made it more so apparent. Maybe it has enhanced it. But as far as I'm concerned, as long as human beings have existed, jealousy has been around. Jealousy is going to continue to be around. How do you curb people's resentment? You curb people's resentment by getting people to reflect on oneself and evaluate oneself and figure out what the fuck are you so jealous about? Because I don't believe in being jealous. I believe if I want some shit, I got to go get to work on that. Yeah, you got to do the work to get what the fuck you want. A lot of people get jealous and they don't understand the amount of work that people have put in behind the scenes to get where they are, to get what they have. You have a person with two paths. One path is the path of looking at someone else's life and being jealous. And the other path is looking at someone else's life and say, you know what? I want that too. I'm willing to put the work in. Most people would choose the path where there's least work, which means they just be a hater. And they're okay with being a hater because they don't want to do the extra work. They want the results, but they don't want to put the work in. They don't want to put the time and effort in. So how you going to curb somebody's fucking laziness? You can't do shit about that. So this article says, I think about why certain memories, this person says, I think about why certain memories haunt me from time to time. Why I have not forgotten. She thinks it's because those are the most powerful and painful moments of envy she's experienced. So basically, she's going through different moments of her life where her friends, family members, or strangers, they have something or experiencing something that she wants to experience. And she's gotten jealous or envy. Why waste your time being jealous or envious when you can be using that energy to come up with a plan to get what the fuck you want? That makes sense to me. Why take this path of being envious about someone and having all these negative thoughts and feelings when you can put that energy into something productive, which is making your dreams come true, make shit happen? Take that negative stuff and make it positive. Jealousy, envy won't get you what the fuck you want. All that's going to do is make you miserable. But if you take those feelings and turn it to something that benefits you, makes you win, why wouldn't you do that? Unless you never really wanted to get the shit in the first place, you just like feeling fucked up and miserable. Something to think about. She says, as I read people's tweets and I scroll through their photographs, I desperately want what these people have had, and it lets me get wound up. Right. By looking at these people's tweets about their life and looking at their pictures, she wants what they have, so she winds herself up and feels as though she's been punched in the stomach. That's your problem. That's why you're jealous. You're not putting the motherfucking work in. Stop being a lazy son of a bitch, as I like to say to my kids, a lazy lima bean, and put your work in. The reason why you ain't got shit, because you ain't doing shit. Listen to what the hell I said. She's upset because some people are tweeting about their life, and she's jealous. She's upset about people posting these pictures of their life and she's jealous. You ain't got shit because you ain't doing shit. When you do some shit, you will get some shit. Get it? Simple. You got to put in the work to get something out of it. You can't sit around hating on motherfuckers and saying, you know what? Man, I wish I had that. Stop fucking wishing and start goddamn doing, and maybe you will see some results. I don't understand the logic of why someone will sit around and do the easy shit like hating when you can put the work in and get your hands on what you really want. Your jealousy is not going to get you that life. So if I were you, I would concoct a goddamn plan to figure out what the fuck you need to do to get there. Instead of being jealous, I would ask someone, hey, what did you do to achieve that? Hey, do you have any suggestions, advice for me to get to where you are? That's what I would do. But hey, I'm not like most people. Most people want to sit around, bitch, moan, and complain and sit the fuck on their ass and wonder what's happening. Nothing's happening because you're sitting on your ass and you're not doing anything. They say with the advent of social media, envy is taken to an extreme. It seems that way. It just made it more apparent. We can't blame social media for human beings' social awkwardness, social inadequacies. We can't blame social media for that shit. We need to blame people's mamas and daddies. And I help us understand why they didn't raise their kids to have more self-esteem, more confidence, more get-go, more initiative to make shit happen. That's what we should be doing. Fuck social media. Social media is just a tool. The real people orchestrating it are the people who are using it. They said social media makes everyone accessible for a comparison. Yes, and that's the next goddamn problem. How the fuck are you going to compare yourself to someone else? Didn't I tell you all you people are priceless? You're in a league of your own. Each one of us, we are in a league of our own, which means there is no comparison. There's no comparison. You can't compare us because we are not the same. So how are you going to compare yourself? Why would you shortchange yourself? Why would you align yourself next to somebody where you know there's no match? There's no equal. You both are supreme. But you're comparing yourself to someone else and feeling fucking bad. That makes no goddamn sense to me at all. They say most of us can intellectualize what we see on social media platforms. We know that those images and narratives aren't aren't real. They said we can talk about it and rationalize it, but on an emotional level, it's still pushing buttons. You know what? If you want to pretend that you have a life you don't have, all you do is take the fucking pictures. What you think about that? You're living a fraud existence anyway. So if you're getting upset and all high strung and fucking and tied up like a goddamn pretzel about this shit, tweet about it. Fake your life. Live a double life. Live a triple life. Go get some pictures taken. Pretend like it's your life. Fake it till you make it. Whatever. But why sign up to be goddamn miserable? Why do that? Get creative. Get ingenious. And you know what? If someone says, hey, why did you lie? You know what? I was feeling fuck all and I need to do something to make myself feel better. So I'm faking it till I make it. So please ignore me. Please forgive me. I am fucked up, but I'm trying to get better. That's what the fuck you say. You own your shit. Don't be ashamed. If you're jealous, say fuck it. Guess what, people? I want to make a fake life. I'm going to make my pretend life. I'm going to get some photos made. I'm going to make you people think that was my life, but it's all fraud. But guess what? I feel good, bitches. I feel good. And that's all that motherfucking matters. Now people are going to look at you like you're fucking weird and they're going to ignore you. But at least you know you did some shit to make yourself feel better instead of sitting the fuck around being miserable, a miserable ass hater. Okay? Got it. They say young women begin to follow certain accounts on Instagram for their inspiration to improve their appearance and end up envying the women they follow and feeling worse about themselves. And they said there's the same pattern with older businessmen and women who start looking for strategies and tips to make their career and life better, and they struggle to accept what they find. Listen, people, if someone does something better than you, you know what? You give them huge respect. You congratulate them and you learn what the fuck they doing and how they do it. Why sit around being upset? Why sit around being hater? Why sit around being sad? I play the game. You know what? If you doing some shit better than me, I'm going to watch your ass. I'm going to study you and I'm going to emulate you until I get my own. That's what I would do. I don't sit around fucking crying. I don't sit around goddamn boo-hooing. I don't sit around motherfucking wondering. I start coming up with a strategy and a plan to make my shit come true. Because I believe I'm worthy and I'm deserving. I also know that some people know more than me. And instead of me trying to recreate the wheel, I'm going to copycat your ass until I'm not. And then when I get to where I need to be, I'm going to become original. That's what the fuck I said. I'm going to copycat. I'm going to teach myself by watching other people and looking at what they do and how they do. That's what I'm going to do. I'm not going to sit around being upset because I believe in happiness and I believe in making shit happen. And I believe I don't know everything, but if someone's doing something motherfucking well, I'm going to look, listen, and learn. Fuck crying. Fuck being jealous. That doesn't get you any motherfucking place in life but miserable and left the fuck behind. If you're searching for tips and strategies, you focus on that is why you're on that account. For tips and strategies. You don't let yourself go roaming off the motherfucking reservation, comparing yourself to someone else because you don't really know if what they say or what they're showing is true. So why are you going to compare yourself against some shit that you don't know is true or not? That makes no goddamn sense to me. That means you're searching for problems. You're looking for issues where there are none. You got to focus, people, and pull your shit together. They said we look at the lives we look at the lives of others that we've constructed online, in which we only show the best of ourselves, and we feel a fear of missing out. in relation to our lives. We don't measure up to the lives we tell others we are living. Yeah. We concoct this story, this life, that's essentially fraud. And then we feel bad about that shit because we know deep down that's not our life. Well, let me paint it to you this way. If you are able to take pictures that illustrate that's your life, that means you're probably experiencing some things and going places that allows you to take those pictures, right? And if you can take those pictures and you can post them, that means that is your life. So you're not living a fraud life, or if you're actually having those experiences. Are you going out of your way to plan and prepare? Yeah. You're a little amped. You're a little amped up on that. But if you're taking the time, the energy to plan your stuff out, to take those pictures to post, that means that's important to you. And since you are experiencing it, it is your life. Why are we so harsh on ourselves? We have to be more forgiving and understanding. We have to be more accepting of ourselves. How are you going to measure up to some shit that you don't know how you're stacking up against it? You cannot compare yourself to another. You don't know what their hiccups are. You don't know what their issues are. You don't know what they've done, what they've sacrificed, all that they've gone through to be where they are and have what they have. So if you don't know their story, you don't know their journey, then I would say you should stop comparing yourself. And even after you learn their story and the journey, don't compare yourself. There's no point. But if you like what they've done, you admire what they've done, you envy what they've done, then what I would do is I would put my brain on, flip that switch, flip that bitch on, and start asking questions to gain wisdom, experience, and knowledge so you can achieve your dream. You are a league of your own. There's no comparison. So stop fucking comparing yourself. You're more than that. You deserve more than that. And you could have that if you stop wasting your time and energy on things that do not get you what you want. You want to move forward in life. You don't want to go backwards, and you don't want to stand still. You want to move forward. Well, to move forward, you have to gain more wisdom, knowledge, expertise. And sometimes you have to learn that shit from another. So instead of being jealous, get smart so you can get ahead. Do better so you can be better and you can have better. Don't be jealous. Be a winner. Take your feelings of jealousy and envy, which we all going to have, identify what it is, identify why you have it, and then take that energy and turn it to something that's going to benefit you in your life. That is what you do. I've given you guys a pearl of wisdom. We're all human. We're going to feel jealous, envy at some point in time. When you feel it, you acknowledge it. When you acknowledge it, you figure out what is going on and what it's trying to tell you. Then once you get that, you start looking at what the other person's doing, pick up some wisdom, start implementing it, and start moving towards your goals, your dreams, your wants, and desires. And then one day you will turn around and you will have what you want, you need, you deserve, you thought. Okay? Please come back and listen to me next week, and thank you for joining. Are you disappointed this has come to an end? Well, it doesn't have to. Reach out and let me know what you think about this episode and my podcast. You can try and slide into my DM, but I will kick your ass out. So I suggest you hop into my DM on Instagram at Difficult and Demanding, or Twitter at Mrs. D&D, or leave a comment on one of my posts. Now give. My episode links to friends, family, associates, frenemies. Hell, give it to your enemies. Actually, I don't give a damn who you give it to. Just give the shit to people and bring laughter to others and show your love for this podcast. Happiness. Are you struggling to have it? To find it? Well, you don't have to look any further. I'm all you need and more. Check me out on Instagram at Difficult and Demanding and follow me. Episode 57 is here on December 21st, 2018 from the I'm Difficult and Demanding podcast.